Pepega ise bir tane Pepega atın. Full chat Pepega olsun mesela. Atın. Böyle heyecanlı. Abi kapı. Abi kapı çalıyor. Abi Shroud 31K. Bu Pepega işte, anladın mı? Tam olarak bu. Sakin, chill, hani beyin kullanmadan, anlık düşünmeden, genelde yaşı küçük, Twitch kültürü pek olmayan arkadaşlarımız Pepega. Pepega'larımızı bu arada eğitiyoruz. Pepega rehabilitasyon merkezimiz var. Orada elimizden gelen yardımı yapıyoruz. Maçız. Yasin 10 lira. Abi doğum günün kutlu olsun Nurten der misin? Demiş olduk. Ama da yapmıyorum öyle bir şey. Onu Poppy de geliyor yakından.
He's just sliced through Acend. I thought maybe he was good for one of those, not two. And suddenly that initial work, that kind of back and forth to find Defo feels so irrelevant how this round pays out. But cNed and Starzo ain't gonna have much. Shado's gonna find cNed and Starzo's position is more.
Kim alır Fracture'ı, ne diyorsunuz? Gambit'in Fracture'ı güçlü. Acend'i hiç bilmiyorum.
İzlemedik değil mi?
Evet, hiç izlemedik Fracture'da.
Bir ikinci map'i gördük. Bu Gambit'te. Sonraki Acend. Sonra Acend.
Gambit'te diyorsun. 2-1. Bir sonraki map Icebox kanka. Icebox Gambit'in güçlü bu arada. Gerçi Acend'in de bayağı iyi. Acend deyip durma kanka, Acend. Acend map amına. Acend kıta amına.
Kıta amına.
Bok gibi map kimlerden çıkacak belli değil. Abi info@riotgames.com. Bana ağlamayın. Dobramazak seviliyorsun istemiş. Çok teşekkürler kardeşim.
Bu arada bu iki takımı da herhangi bir şekilde Fraction'ı izledik mi?
Ben Gambit'ini izledim. İzledik kanka, sen de izledin. İyi oynuyorlar. İyi oynuyor. Tabii defansı yine kuvvetli burada Gambit'in.
Defansı da iyi. Biri var mı ya?
Evet. Genel olarak defansları iyi ya. O yüzden şu an Gambit ne kadar el alırsa o kadar sıkıntı. Ataklar çünkü.
Hemen geliyor.
Acend sadece bir kere oynamış. O da second party turnuvada. Third party turnuva demek istedin galiba.
You can see the net just being closed on Acend at the moment. Nat's taking a little more space as well, herding them forward. He's going to hear all of this. Actually going to pull the trigger on the player at the end. That's going to be Killer's corner. He knows Starzo's nearby. He got that information earlier, so it's just teed up. So comfortable for the man. And cNed has been tagged, so position's already been noted. He's got two coming in from tower. And neither of these shots are finding what he wants. That one does. Any more? Yeah, one more.
Enti oğlum.
Confidence boost with a round regardless is Gambit's.
3 survive, 3 Spectres. Solid footing for round 3 here. Nats could be such a problem here for Acend. They need to be aware of that. And this almost just leans into the perfect sort of map for Nats. Give him the space to lurk and find value. Be behind some of these hits and capitalize on the space created from those rotations. And already we've seen him do that.
MVP'ler kim olur, var mı tahmin? Yani şu ana kadar MVP kim dersen bence Zeke şu ana kadar MVP. Daha bakalım, mapler devam.
Beckoning to go forward, does actually get towards the site, clears it. That's a rifle straight away into the pocket and a spike plant to boot.
Planted. On the wall once again, making sure they have a very open plant here. Reset back towards main and potentially greet Bone.
Bu ele alması lazım Acend'in.
There's lots of bodies for him to deal with as the rest of Acend come through spawn.
Bonecold has to be so integral here in my mind, but there's so many players literally.
Ama vur onu Bonecold ya.
Ducks under it. Oh dear, this is looking a bit dangerous to say the least. Killhead, Starzo and Zeke, what are you going to do with this? Nat makes his appearance. And look at this shutdown from Gambit. This was never meant to be this way.
Yarraydık galiba.
They make it their own. 5 stand and 4 rifles make it through.
Prime Gaming flawless in their
Alo.
bonus.
Alo.
Alo Rafa.
Kanka hoş
Ne
geldin.
oldu abi? Hoş bulduk.
Kanka bonusu da aldılar. Şu anda tekrar Eko. Acend 4-0 olacak muhtemelen ve Gambit saldırı oynuyor. Hayırlısı.
Hayırlısı indeed.
Bir tık sıkıntılardayız. Aynen.
Bir saniye sayalım mı?
Cino da sıkıntıya girmiş. Tabi sayalım 39, 38, 37.
Tamam ben sustum.
Durdurdum başlattım. 30,
31,
29, 28.
Çok
Siktim.
benden de.
Açtım, Boncolt öldü amına koyayım.
Just looks like Gambit is on control of the ebb and flow of this. They know that Acend want to try and get it, not necessarily in their
Cino'yu
face.
kes.
Cino yılan.
Haberleri yok.
Tıs tıs.
So aware of the possibility of cNed. Yes, the steps are heard. And actually, a second.
Oh.
They put an instantaneous trade. Zeke's still going to do well for one, can't convert. Second.
Ah lan.
3v1 killers. You got anything up the sleeve? Absolutely not. Chronicle is there. And again, Gambit just striding now. This is when you
Acend ilk kez oynuyor galiba, bir diyen var.
everything starts feeling so right for them.
Kanka arkanda.
Olur. Olur 4-0. Şimdi ne rounduna geldik?
Kritik.
Tabii.
Round, kritik round. Hadi
Kritik round. Harbiden kritik round. Ve bak ne zaman kritik round desek kanka ne geliyor? Timeout geliyor. Tabii. Sağ sol.
I feel like it's the right choice
Sağ
here.
dolaşım hızlandırmaca.
This is a very awkward round to make a huge adjustment, right? In terms of
I don't think it's even adjustment though. Just get composure back. Because
Ya
they've been
abi,
absolutely back
Allah aşkına.
It's not been like a
Bir şey
close
atacağım
thing.
Sami.
no, you're right. At cNed now.
Oğlum hakikaten attığın tweet doğru amına koyayım. Hangisi gerçekçi net bilemiyorum artık. Şuna bakar
Abi
mısın?
evet. Benim de öyle. Gerçek yani harbiden bilmiyorum kim abi. Gerçek
Ama full destek abi. Full destek yine de.
Bulamıyorum
Kanka
abi.
bir de zeki
Bulamıyorum ama
bulamıyoruz amına koyayım.
Enerji.
It's looking like Gambit now going to focus towards Dish. And if they can get in behind it, it's difficult really, especially with got to make the consideration. This pressure comes through from Hall.
Oğlum Gambit'in koçunun önünde istatistik falan var. Bu ne amına koyayım, adam çalışmış gelmiş.
That's when the rotation becomes crucial. If
Hitap var kanka herifin.
Kanka bu eleman çok cool gözükmüyor mu? Tam bir koç ya.
Hakikaten öyle ya.
Ama zaten takım olarak da cool'lar bence ya. Gambit.
Evet, harbiden öyle.
Yeah, there's layers to this.
Oğlum adamlarda Shadows var lan, Çeçen amına koyayım. Adam Khabib Nurmagomedov amına koyayım.
cNed has
Ne?
to find
O kim
an
lan?
impact in my mind.
Khabib
Nurmagomedov.
kanka, Khabib Nurmagomedov var ya.
You know that ghost
O kim lan?
verse vandal is
Starf'ı da
definitely
az
something
kullan
that's a
amına
bit
koyayım.
frustrating, I'm sure.
Bizim soğuktan götümüz titriyor, adam short
Early
oturuyor.
exploration begins.
Azbullah deme
Baba
ya.
benim
Abi ben
Ben
kopuyorum
şeyim
ya.
ya.
Çok komik değil mi ama?
bende kan fazlalığı var. Gerçekten hemoglobin fazlalığı var. Kolay kolay üşümem yani.
Hemoroid mi?
Hemoglobin kanka sende ya.
Kanka tamam.
Sünder 12. ayın kutlu olsun.
So much invested though, always into this as well. Rhaegar and Chronicle both putting everything they have into this round early on. Bone Gold still good to catch across though. Spots another and that's Shados. Managing to stay alive, but cNed's in danger. He's got players left and right. Zeke's gone down. And oh no, cNed burns alive.
Cinom.
Bone Cold, Starzo and Killers put to task, put to test. And Shados passes his. It's traded out eventually, but the spike's gone down. The ult comes in.
I
But
know
now
exactly
Starzo and
where you
Bone
are.
Cold are presented the unfavorable, unfathomable task. But actually getting Red Gold's made this possible. Look at the HP on
Kanka canlar çok yakın.
4 HP.
Yemedi, neslemedi, neslemedi. Ha yemiş lan yemiş.
The king of cool though. Look at this guy.
Eyvah. Çözer.
Bırakma.
Nice.
The defuse comes in.
Nice
And
oldu.
just make it
Çık vur
across
bir
the
de.
finish line.
Güzel, önemli roundtu da ekonomi gene yaraklarda.
Şöyle bir sıkıntı var, silah çekemeyeceğiz.
Evet. El aldık, borca girdik misali.
Borca girdik.
They create enough pressure on Dish where ultimately Acend have to make a decision, right? They have to choose one way or the other.
Cinom burada yandı ya.
İremessa 10 lira. Survivor Berna bu. 2.25 2.50 arası.
Damn,
şunu short link at ya.
Beautiful setup from Gambit. Again, lose the round, yes.
2.25. Nereye geldik amına koyayım?
Economy kept in check here. 19k behind
Tamam.
this purchase for Gambit.
Farklı bir programdanmış.
Teşekkürler
Teşekkürler bu önemli bilgi için İrem. Sarso. Niyeydi? Abi ne oldu bir anda 5 ve 2 oldu. Oğlum yıkıldık amına koyayım Rauf.
Kanka gerçekten büyüyor olabilirler mi ya?
Acend Echo.
Absolutely. Was creeping back
Sağ mı?
online for them
Ne
already.
oldu abi?
Kiles adam vurmamamız Sami.
That blade storm, they're put in an awkward position that previous round.
Hadi. Acend.
What to purchase? Zeke now
Acend.
stopper.
Bu arada Zeke'in ultisi var.
But look at it. It's
Bence bu map'i hala bitti diye bakmamalıyız. Ne diyorsunuz?
on the brink of his own
Map'ten pardon round.
Yani bakalım Gambit defansta inşallah sıçar. Böyle bir momentumu yakalarsa Acend.
Tamam. Round gitmiş olarak bakabiliriz.
Kolay kanka zaten. Çok zor ya.
Okay, no, he's absolutely fine. Chronicle has nothing to fear. cNed seems like he can't hit a barn door right now. He's having a nightmare of a game.
O mental demişti bu arada Cino'nun yediği az önce.
Tamam.
When you said flawless, you meant for Acend, right?
Yes.
Not Gambit.
Yeah.
Right.
I did.
Tuncer başta 21 aydır seri 3 subscribe olmuş. Tuncer çok teşekkür ederim. Çok sağ ol. Balsın.
Absolutely insane from Gambit.
Tabii Kubat demeyeceğim.
Chronicle always in the right position to greet some of this aggression on the side of Acend. It comes back to Breeze in some of these scenarios where Gambit almost, they're baiting Acend to push them.
Yes.
They want them to get curious, explore some of these spots. They have so many contingencies.
I feel like we might see a couple more of those prime game
Teknik pause.
Timeout comes in. And we
Bu arada kritik round.
kind of take a step back as the first two maps feel
Tek pause kimin aldığını
they exist in
göstermiyorlar
their
ha?
own right, but it does change now when we come forward into these next few.
Genelde hiç
If we
göstermiyorlar
have this,
kanka.
Then I
Tek
think
pause
Icebox and then
olunca.
split
That's correct,
if
yeah.
needed.
And you talk about the mental
Önemsiz
game.
bilgi olarak görüyorlar galiba.
It's fantastic to see Acend bounce back.
Bak kulakçı takıyorlar. Aleykümselam birader hoş geldin.
Blowing leads or fumbling, you know, really crucial rounds are the ones that a team like
Efendim
Gambit
canım?
will always punish you for. It's not just
Arkadaşlığımıza ne oldu ya
next 3 or
dedim.
4
Oh, the
rounds.
knock on.
Birader deyince arkadaş olmuyor muyuz?
Play with.
Yo bir
So that's
atarlı
really
söyledim abi.
important.
Sarhoş ya bu.
Think about now the way this has started.
Bunun
If
ayık
Gambit
olduğu
run
gün
away
yok
from
ki ya.
fracture, we're then, like,
Ya ne
the
alakası?
best of
Bak
three, right?
adımız
It then
çıkmıştı bize.
becomes back towards that mental game.
Sen konseri kaçırdın mı?
It is.
Cyber.
Kimin konserini?
Oo, biz patladık maç başlamadan önce seremonide.
It is, and just to keep you guys at home updated, just a mouse issue.
Abi Lil Pampa daha var.
Acend, so hopefully
Salak.
they can fix that soon.
Z çıktı Z.
Will help their scoreline at 6-1, and
Ben tanımıyorum kendimi.
not having the best of times. He's had a rough game so far, especially on this
Buna
map.
koyayım,
I'd say the
konuşurken
last couple
salyası
of
akıyor
fine,
ya.
either
Açtım
below
sesini.
or above average for him, so good enough.
Çok güzel. Ridik.
Scrapbooks indeed.
Bunun bana boyutlarını yollasana.
Stuff. That looks-
Gönderdim abi onun
Gönderdin mi?
Evet.
Ha siktir yeni emote ekliyorum chat.
Ah, maybe.
Keyifler yerinde Gambit'te ha.
I have so many more.
As a player that's looked deadly, absolutely deadly.
I'm glad
for
we can
champions.
talk about this though, because I think Nats obviously got everyone's attention, right? When we
The
first looked at
headline,
Gambit,
right?
it was Nats. Synonymous with the name and the greatness came along with it. But there was obviously the supporting act. And initially, I think it was fair to say...
Bekle oğlum, daha
among the
eklemedim ya.
supporting act, he's up there now in my mind. He has exceeded, and I think in this map especially, we are actually seeing both of them pop off again. Both players looking untouchable.
Actually, they're probably just
56.
comparing lurk kills, maybe,
Oh, maybe.
or deaths. I think actually, at the minute, Nats is winning that one.
Yeah, I don't think...
I still want to. I didn't even catch on this, whether we actually know how many times Nats died in the second half of Breeze, because that was beginning to annoy me.
Yeah.
How good he is, and
It's a little frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, and you look down at the end of the round, it's like he's not even taking any damage.
And I think this would be the first event now in Valorant's lifespan we can look at, you know, not greatest of all times, it's still too early, but he's something else, I think, and a lot of people noticed that
Eklendi.
early on. Obviously
Hayır, birazdan gelir tabi.
Yeah, his capability has seemed to be something to keep in mind. Now we've seen a lot of kind of, as I said, it was easy to look at, you know, your jets, your occasional raises, your bits and bobs. In that regard, you're like, oh yeah, fantastic, and then Nats just change your mind on everything. If he can keep this level up, right? If he has a couple more reserves, I don't think we can say that he's not the best in the world, like one of, or the best in the world right now.
Yeah, and the thing to also consider, early Scrimbit days, right? And you look at
aynen eklenmiş. Güzel, güzel.
And again, had a couple of really highlight performances individually. That's the thing, you look at Gambit, you think, where is the weak spot? Because online, I think the discussions always circulate around Defo.
Yep.
And maybe today's not the best example, but he's delivered for Gambit.
Oh, he's a land beast.
Abi arkadaki şarkı çok iyi.
Absolute land monster. There's not many
Hulk CZ 12 aydır, Pentos 13 aydır, Ahmet 24 aydır, Tuncer 21 aydır. Çok teşekkür, hoş geldiniz. Abi merhaba, arkadaşımla birlikte İzmir'de bal satıyoruz. Arkadaşımın babası Türkiye'nin en büyük bal toptancılarından. Ondan alıp harçlık çıkarıyoruz. Ballar çok kaliteli ve alan herkes çok memnun kalıyor. Çeşit mevcut, İzmir'deyiz. Almak... Amını sikeyim, o kadar izliyorsun, bağış atıyorsun. Göndersene, bal gönder, bal.
Acend needs to wake up and it needs to happen right about now.
They do. I think
Hala almak istersen falan yapıyor. Satış yapıyor ya. 2 bal gönder la.
They follow up immediately on this again. The weaker side of the setup on the side of Acend. Lots of things for Starlight to deal with initially when we forced away from that choke point.
Run round. Güzel Zeke.
Just yet, but they're just on the verge. Now Zeke with the first.
Alo.
Zeke, don't know what happened, but Starzo. Oh no, it's an absolute disaster again. What is going on? Acend. It's all falling to pieces. I'm a little taken aback for words here, because Gambit for once didn't have to turn all the screws. Acend kind of did it for themselves, and that's to shut down the round at 7-1. I don't think that pause really stilled the nerves much.
No.
Bir replay alalım, bir replay alalım. Kiles niye 0 kill? Alo, combat score 9 da amına koyayım.
Acaba sıkıntı Kiles'te miydi? O yüzden mi durdular?
Ne yaptı kanka bu çocuk?
Bir sıkıntım var.
Görmemiştim şimdi. Kanka zaten ölecekmiş çocuk. Basmış ultiyi amına koyayım. Bari adama kill gitmesin demiş.
It's so difficult for Acend to find something on the way back in that Gambit are able to isolate both players on site time and time
Ulan
again.
Ya.
Here he is. The Apex Predator himself, Nats.
Dino.
Yet to be found. Chronicle is so sharp as well. The guy looks untouchable. And we wait to see what's now up the sleeve. Zeke. You know that you're being hunted down slowly but surely, but four still stand. Good
Lan bonk oldum da Şerif'i minimum bir kill var ya bu çocuğun. Kiles adam vur Kiles.
And taken over. Spike on route as well. And Zeke and Starzo to face it down, and Nats again yet to die.
Starzo is going to be given one. Zados actually will challenge. Slowed down now. Marshall in hand.
Ah lan.
Vurdu sandım biliyor musun?
Harbi ya, sıkmadı.
Him and Chronicle. I want to see that for the first time ever, I think, on broadcast I've said this, I want to see headshot percentages. Because Chronicle and Nats right now, it's aim labs. That's all it is.
Yeah, like some people were sad the screen was.
Adama ne flame atıyorum, moral düşüyorum, biraz gata geliyor. Lan beni mi duyuyor amına koyayım.
Of their own, so don't worry.
Ben burada backgaming yapıyorum.
It's becoming
Bu map Acend'in haritası mıydı? Yok, Gambit'in haritası.
Another buy round here. Look at the ultimates. Showstopper, Rolling Thunder. Chronicle close to the orbital strike once again. The other side, there are ultimates available here for Acend.
But cNed,
he has to find something here with the operator. Has to.
Okay.
Yani Fracture alışmamış ya Acend. Acend'i hiç Fracture'da görmemiştik zaten.
Birader hakikaten elimiz konuşmuyor bu ne amına koyayım.
Oğlum keşke Fracture'ı banlasaydık Heaven'ı banlamak yerine amına koyayım.
Oh my word, excuse me, it's Killers who finally falls. This is just down to two, Starzo and cNed. And they're so split on this. Isolated again. That's just
çok fikirsiz değil miyiz ya map'te?
Evet.
Harbi çok fikirsiziz ya.
Adam yürüyüp gerçekten orayı salmadı abi net. Oranı ne bilmiyorum ama. İsmini bilmiyorum ama. Sürekli oynadığı yeri salmadı abi. Kimse geçemiyor orada.
Onlar şeyi banladı. Bind'i banladı. Zaten Acend'in en iyisi. Ama Acend Heaven'ı banladı.
This basically allows Gambit to just do whatever they want on the other side of the map. And you look as soon as contact comes through, you look for Acend to be making moves in terms of rotation. You look towards the minimap and they're all stood still. They're all stood still, Lauren.
Bakar mısın abi?
Kanka normal düzgün buy yaptıklarını görmedim daha ben Acend'in ya.
Could echo through the rest of this game. And Gambit are not stopping. Defo finding cNed. Chronicle looking to deny some of the vision from tower, allow and facilitate the play to come in. The site's being taken and no one's going to stop it. They still know there's someone up towards it, and there's those ults coming on back through. Maybe this time
Ulti.
there'll be some blood drawn.
Kanka Raze açtı ki ultiyi. Aa bir daha kill aldı abi.
They still keep just racking up the bodies. No matter what they do, Nats finally goes down. But then there's the second line. Then there's Chronicle. Then there's Defo. Then there's Redgar. And none of it is working for Acend. Gambit look untouchable.
At this point, it's a story of momentum. The showstopper there completely mitigates that rolling thunder. They can't push through. There's smoke.
Ne yapacağız?
Durumları çok kötü abi şu an.
Ona bir taraflar değilsin, görüşürüz mü? Tam da taraflar değişene kadar ama şey kalmadı oğlum. Ona 1 la. Hadi ona 2 oldu diyelim.
Nereden dönen maçlar oldu abi.
Ya gidi elini yüzünü yıka bana koydum ya sikeceğim. O ne? O ne? Vuruşa bak Shadows'un.
And nothing in any of these scrapbooks and plays and considerations that Acend had are going to make a blind bit of difference, because right now Starzo is the only one who can do anything to deny this, and it's a 1v5.
Yani net bu map'e özel hazırlanmış gibi oynuyor, anlamadım.
Staring down the barrel of a gun. It's done for. I don't care who you are. I don't see a world where this game changes.
Sat komandosu ya. 11-1.
They're attacking half here on Fracture, an absolutely terrifying performance. Nats 19-1, Chronicle 17-2.
Teşekkürler.
Just insane.
Banını açsanız
Acend can't find anything around the map. They can't find any weakness to exploit. Like I said, they keep having to commit to playing deep because the economy is so fragile.
Yep, fair enough. Fair enough.
Bunlar şeye salmış yani, maçı salmışlar zaten.
Right, 11-1. We're going to hand it back to the desk because there's probably not much more for us to be saying about this.
Might be a pretty short segment, actually, I think.
It might be. We'll find out. Let's head down.
I mean, it's Pansy and Hyper. We've got triple OT written all over this map. You know, the way they cast. But we talk about Gambit's slow start. Sean, I think they heard us, and I think they disagreed with us.
Yeah, when Nats came through that cage,
next map, Icebox.
Got 2 entries.
Icebox'ta yolumuza bakacağız.
The beginning of the end, I would say. But hang on. Okay, I hope I'm ready for the side of Acend.
My God.
Looking at how this played out for Gambit is exactly what Sean and I were talking about. Do they have an attack side? Can they come out strong? And the one thing we've been seeing from Acend is that they find an answer. They were just over loop this entire half.
Nets'te benim gibi skill'lerden bir tanesini şey dönüyor. Mouse butonda.
Bu arada çoğu öyle oynuyor ya kanka.
Kanka çok rahat ya, ben de öyle oynuyorum. Ben de mesela C skill'i ve ulti tuşlarda kanka. Mouse 4'te mouse 1 çok rahat oynuyorum.
Onu yapmadım.
C'ye basmak zor geliyor bana niyeyse.
Map'ten 100 abonelik hediye net. Tamam. Hadi bakalım.
Dönerse ben de 100 atıyorum.
Dönerse ben de kendime 100 atıyorum amına. O derece inanmıyorum yani. Onurcan Erdem 23 aydır tier 3 subscribe. Hoş geldin balım. Çok teşekkür ederim Onurcan'cığım. Go Gambit go mu? Ulan bir şeyde de karşıt görüş olma ya Onurcan. Çocuk hep böyle ya. İlla böyle karşıt görüş olacak amına. Anarşist. Gambit seviyorum. Ne yapayım? Sen ne?
Yinzu. It's 11-1.
Please.
Come on. Come on, Yinzu. Keep it together. We're not that down tremendous yet. It's a best of 5, don't worry. We've got plenty more to be played out, but you can talk about the mental effect as much as, yes, they look a little calm and, you know, they're giving it
Hadi bakalım.
Stage. You've just been thrashed. And that's a little tricky to bring that mindset back from. However,
look
we
at how
start off.
Around starting.
Yes. Oh, they're getting out of there. Oh dear.
Ne oluyor oğlum? Nasıl pistol lan?
I think they're running away from us.
They literally have to bail on the zip line. They will force Acend into a quick hit towards B though.
Gambit saldırı gibi oynuyor ya.
Yeah, the flash is so good. Red guard just beheads Zeke. But there's 2 more potential victims. Look at this, they're all on the other side, and the raid boss is here. Nats refusing to relent. This guy's a god right now. Untouchable by all accounts. Starzo, there's just a bounding defo in your face. As Rock Paper Scissors
sen neymişsin aga?
Who do you think won the Rock Paper Scissors?
Lan bari biraz inansaydık amına koyayım.
Talk about right now, right?
Yeah, talk to me.
Based on the tactical crouch, I think maybe Defo won both Rock Paper Scissors and that 1v1
Seems like it could be the case.
Evet Cyber. Hala var mı inanç?
Adam sırtladı götürüyor kanka.
Like how does this actually line up in your mind?
The scary thing for me,
gördüğünü vuruyor çocuk.
I know Sean was really impressed with the performance previously by Gambit. This is so uncharacteristic of what we see from Gambit.
They're sending. They're full sending. It is absolutely full
sending. Bakar mısın abi üstlerine
koşuyorlar. This time Acend are fighting back, but we know who still stands is
Ha siktir!
Finally gets
down.
Helal! İşte bu hadi. Hatırla 12-0 hatırla YouTube Vıtıcın.
They're cheering. They've got 2 rounds.
Comeback İsrail.
Round by round.
Hadi 10 round daha oğlum. Hadi.
You know, like the
kaldı
videos
10.
they make after, oh yeah, it's just round by round. It's like, you know, step by step, every inch of the way. No,
pozitifiz.
It's just, you know, in that moment.
Hadi çocuklar sadece o değil.
Right.
Sezgin abi. Kritik. Kritik roundlardan ilki. İlki. Daha ilki. Daha 9 tane daha var bundan.
It's getting a little livelier on the stage. A little livelier in game as well. Acend quickly push through A main here to find the opener on the back of Zeke. Trying to isolate Shados as well.
They still need to ensure, even with all this newfound confidence, they don't overcook it because there's still a little bit of
Çok güzel, çok güzel. Depo hiçbir şey yapamaz, hiçbir şey yapamaz.
Starzo does well to find them. And now 1v2.
Eyvah.
Does this do as much damage? No. Starzo going to push forward, try to get around it. Defo now knows where they are, but they're close.
Çok güzel, çok güzel, çok güzel, çok güzel. 12-3. Kaldı 9. Kritik.
Kaldı çocuklar.
See now if Gambit.
Ananı sikeyim. Kilesi 2 kill. Combat Stone 42 kanka.
O da yanlışlıkla tararken adamlar arkadan geçmedi kanka.
Glance at the ultimate progress if there's anything else that Acend can throw into this round. I mean, we laugh, but this is a big positive to not see Acend kind of fold on themselves on stage, which
yani
the player cams. I hate to come back to again that 100 Thieves game.
It's their biggest loss that they've ever
looked
faced.
Deflated. So this is a huge positive for me.
Well, cNed's still not having the time of his life as much as his teammates may be loving it. He certainly isn't, and Nats has had his number. He's had pretty much everyone's number. He's at 25-3. Somewhat God's gift to this game.
Madness, absolute madness.
Round 16, by the way. 5v4 now. They need to get a pick back. They need to have something go cleanly in their way, and it's just not. Gambit on the verge of closing this one down. 3 more victims stand. Shados just toying with his meal. now has to be aware that he could be surrounded. He's dealing with the pressure well because he knows that Nats has his back.
Tamam al map senin olsun lan.
Swings in and it's all down to Star, so it's all but over 13-3. A flawless end to the Neuron flawless map. This was decisive. It's all done high.
Yeah, like I said, we laugh about it, but this is a huge positive. With a performance like that, you just want to forget it. You want to pretend it didn't happen.
Next one.
Again, we come back to this. The talking point: Nats and Chronicle leading the charge here for Gambit. 26-3, 17-4. Chronicle huge in some of those attacking rounds.
Bir yandan da acaba bu kadar takmamak ile iyi mi yapıyorlar diye düşünüyor değilim.
Yani
çünkü dedikleri gibi hakikaten mental önemli aslında. Yani böyle
tamam da kanka karşıyla uğraşmamaları lazım ya. Karşıya o tarz hareketler
belki
falan
de.
Gerek yok yani. Bırak dön abi. Gene tamam mentalini şey yap. İyi tut da yani. Takımınla ilgilen. Önündeki maça bak. Mentali resetlemeye çalış.